Okay. So the first term that you will see in your numerical is your speed ratio. What is speed ratio? Okay. So wherever you see any speed ratio term is there in the numerical, it will be given. Uh, then you have to use this formula. That is here u1 is your tangential velocity of the wheel at inlet. Okay. So if here unknown parameters are u1 and capital H. So if and this is your speed ratio. Okay. So three terms are there. Any two will be given. So you have to calculate the third one. Okay. Similarly, now you might be thinking, what is this root under 2gh? Am I properly audible? Anyone respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So, what is this root under 2gh? So, if you remember, you were calculating your velocity. Okay, velocity v. This is your root under 2gh. Okay, just for memory purpose, I am telling you. Okay, don't use this term v1 over here. Okay, you have to write root under 2gh. Now, the second term is your flow ratio. In some numericals, flow ratio will be given. Okay, basically they are given to find out the related unknown terms. Suppose here flow ratio, second unknown is Vf1. F1 means flow velocity, velocity of flow, and this one suffix is representing your inlet condition upon root under 2gh. So this will give you your flow ratio, Vf1 upon root under 2gh. Similarly, one this formula, discharge of the turbine. Okay, if there will be any lagging of my sound, you please uh, uh, inform me. Okay, because I'm using college Wi-Fi. If there will be any voice lagging, then I will use my mobile data. Okay. So here you can see the discharge of turbine. Formula for discharge of turbine, you remember this, very important, because based on this, you have to calculate this discharge to the turbine in almost every numerical related to your reaction turbine. Okay. So it is represented by Q, the same notation, everyone knows. It is given by pi into D1 into B1. Okay, where D is your diameter of the runner at inlet and b1 is your width of the runner at inlet. Okay, so again this bf1 is your flow velocity, this bf1 is your flow velocity. So we know that what you have studied, q equals to a into b. In simple language, if you remember, q equals to area into velocity. So this particular parameters, they are representing the cross sectional area, pi into d into b. Okay, similarly on outlet side, it will be pi into d2 into b2 into vf2. So keep this in your mind. This formula will be very important while solving the numericals. Okay, one more thing that is important here, these things you may or may not see. Okay, I'm telling you only important things. Radial discharge. About radial discharge, what is the meaning of this radial discharge? You try to understand. uh, in the outlet triangle, if you remember, we were drawing the velocity triangle diagram. If suppose this is your curved vein, and on this side you were drawing your inlet velocity diagram, and on the outlet side we were drawing like this, something like this. Okay, so if your beta angle beta is if 90-degree, then this is called as your radial discharge. Okay, this means the angle made by the absolute velocity with the tangent on the wheel is 90-degree, and the component of whirl velocity, that is your v w2, that will be equals to 0. Okay, so radial discharge means beta equals to 90-degree. Okay, and your vw2 equals to 0, and the radial at inlet, here it is written outlet, that is mistake, it will be inlet. If in the question it is written that you have radial discharge at inlet, then alpha will be 90-degree and vw1 will be your 0. Okay, so these are some of the important terms that will be used most often in while solving the numerical. And I hope everyone is ready with your calculator, and we will be solving the numericals now. We will see one or two important numericals from every topic, okay, and then we will move ahead. Now, question is on your screen. As you can see, an inward flow reaction turbine has external and internal diameter as 1 meter and 0.5 meter. Okay, so here your D1 and D2 is given. Your D1 is your 1 meter and your D2 is given as 0.5 meter. Okay, the velocity of flow through the runner is constant and is equals to 1.5 meter per second. Is throughout constant, it is written here. Constant means Bf1 equals to Bf2. Bf1 equals to Bf2 equals to 1.5 meter per second. Okay. Now, determine what you have to determine. You have to determine discharge through the runner. Discharge you have to calculate, means your Q you have to calculate. If you remember in the previous slide, the formula we are using, Q equals to pi into D1 into B1 into Bf1. Okay, so all the values are given, I think. D1 is given, Bf1 is given. What is B1? Here, the width of the turbine at inlet is 200 mm. So this B1 is also written here. So by substituting those values, you can easily get the answer. It is in mm, so I will convert it into meter, and Bf1 your 1.5 meter per second. Yeah, can anyone tell me this answer? If you will solve it, you will get something around 0.9425. Okay, so this one was a simple one. Just I have given you for your understanding purpose how to calculate this discharge. When you know the discharge width of the at outlet, now it is asking for width of the turbine at outlet. This one was your B1 at inlet. Now it is asking for outlet, means B2. So we know that discharge equals to pi D1 into B1 into Bf1 equals to pi into D2 into B2 into Bf2. Okay, all the parameters are known except this B2 term. So when you will substitute, okay, we know Bf1 is equals to Bf2, pi equals to pi. So what is left? D1 B1 equals to D2 B2. Okay, and B1 is known, so what will be B2? B2 will be D1 B1 upon D2. So you can substitute the values and you can get the answer. I think D1 is your 1 meter, B1 is your 0.2, and D2 is your 0.5. Okay, so this you will get into 2 you can do, so you will get 0.4 meter, and it will be your 400 millimeters, and this is your answer. Okay, so this is one of the very simple numerical that you can solve, and you understand how to deal with this discharge term. Okay, now I want your participation in this numerical. Okay, so you try to solve your own. Okay, here first we will read the question, then we will see what are the given data, and based on that we will do the calculation. So let's start. Inward flow reaction turbine has external and internal diameters, means D1 and D2 is given. So write down here your D1 equals to 0.9 meter. I think I have added those things. Yeah, I have added. Okay, so here your D1 is given, D2 is given. Okay, the turbine is running at 200 RPM. So N is given. Okay, and if you remember that I have told you, whenever you see this diameter is given and your RPM is given, you directly think of the formula, that is your u1 equals to pi d1n by 60. Okay, always keep in your mind, wherever you see this d and n, you can calculate this u term. Okay, now, and the width of the turbine at inlet is 200 mm. Width of the turbine at inlet, it means your b1 is given. Okay, now the velocity of flow through the runner is constant. Runner is constant. Velocity of flow throughout the runner is constant. This term is highlighting. Okay, it means your vf1 equals to vf2 equals to, what is the value? 1.8 meter per second. Okay, the guide blade angle makes an angle of 10 degree to the tangent of the wheel. So your alpha value is given 10 degree. And the discharge at the outlet of the turbine is radial, as I have told you in the previous slide. If this radial term is used at outlet, if it is saying that it is radial, it means that your beta equals to 90 degree, and VW2, when beta will becomes 90, then VW2 will becomes 0. Keep this in your mind. Okay, so based on this, whatever is the given information, you can draw the velocity diagram. Okay, and this is common as we are doing from the very beginning. You have to draw this triangle. This will be your B1. This is your alpha. Okay, this is your U1 from here up to here. Then VW1. This is your VW1. Remember these parameters where you are using U1, where is VW1. This is very important. Okay, this term, that is your relative velocity. For memory purpose, you keep this in your mind. V1 minus u1 gives you vr1. Okay, and it is making an angle theta with the horizontal axis. Okay, again I'm telling you, for memory you keep v1 is making angle alpha, so v2 will be making beta. Okay, vr1 is making theta, so vr2 will be making phi. Okay, so on outlet side, keep this in your mind for memory. This tangential line, if you are able to see this is your VR2. And VR2, what angle VR2 is making? VR2 is making an angle phi. So here is your phi angle. I'm giving more focus on velocity triangle diagram. Okay, you all should know how to draw this. And this will be your u2. As we know, if beta is 90 degree radial, okay, then beta will be 90 degree and your vw2 will becomes 0. Okay, and this is your v2. Its vertical component is vf2 and horizontal component is 0. We all know that. So this is your velocity triangle diagram. No need to draw these things. Okay, this is just for your illustration. This curved blade you need to draw, and these two triangles you need to draw in your examination. Okay, now let's see how to solve this. Okay, as I have told you, wherever you see pi and d, you can calculate your u. Okay, so u is nothing but pi dn upon 60. All the parameters are given. Substitute those values and you will get this answer. Okay, so this will be your first step. You have to see what is given. Okay, and based on that, how you can calculate the remaining parameter. Now in the question, what they are asking, let's see. In the question, they are asking for absolute velocity. Absolute velocity of water at inlet means it is asking for v1. Okay, second, they are asking velocity of whirl at inlet. Whirl velocity means it is asking for vw1. Inlet means 1 I am writing here. Relative velocity at inlet. Relative velocity of at inlet means vr1. Relative velocity vr, inlet means 1. And you all know that what is vr1. V1 minus U1, that will give you VR1. Okay, it is that much simple. Now, the runner blade angles means your theta and phi value. What is phi value? What is theta value? This is your blade angles. Width of runner at outlet. Width, when this width term is coming, it means that your B is there. Okay. And outlet means here you have to write 2. Okay. Now, mass of water flowing through the runner per second. So it is asking for discharge. That is your Q. You all know the formula for your discharge. What is the formula? Just in the previous question we have seen Q equals to pi into D1 into B1 into VF1. This formula will give you your mass flow rate. Okay. Now, let's see how to solve this. U1 and U2 we have already calculated. From the diagram, here diagram is not available. Okay, let me draw that diagram. I will draw that small diagram over here. This was your curved vein. You take the tangential like this, tangential line I am taking like this. Okay. Now, from here you take its horizontal component, means one horizontal line, and connect this with this point. Okay. So we all know that this will be your V1 nomenclature I will write, but let me draw the lines. Okay. This will be your V1. This will be your, let me choose some other color or it will overwrite on one another. This is V1. This is VR1. This will be your U1. Okay. And this will be your VW1. Always remember the horizontal component of this V1 will be your VW1. It will always come in horizontal axis, and similarly its vertical component will be VF1. Okay, here it will make an angle alpha. This will be your theta. Okay, now coming to your outlet triangle side, let me take that red color. On outlet side, we know that it is radial outward, so beta will be your 90 degree, and there will be one tangential line through this, and you connect this. On outlet triangle side, we know that this tangential line is nothing but your VR2. So let me change the color. This will be your VR2. Always keep in your mind. Okay, this tangential line will give you your VR2 on outlet side, and on inlet side, this tangential line is giving you V1. Okay, now this angle will be your phi. In this direction, you have your U2. U2 will be from here up to here. And this is your beta angle. For this case, beta is 90 degree. And this is the absolute velocity at outlet, as well as, since they are coinciding, so it will be Bf2 also. Okay, its vertical component. So this is our velocity triangle diagram for the numerical we were discussing. Now, now we will see how to calculate the absolute velocity. Okay, absolute velocity, it means your V1 we have to calculate, and we know that the value of Vf1 is given in the numerical. If we will see the given data, here you can see Vf1 is given equals to Vf2 equals to 1.8 meter per second. Okay, so we know that V1 value is with us. Okay, and alpha is also given. Alpha is given 10 degree. This angle is also given. So we know that, we all know that V1 sine alpha equals to Vf1. So from here you can easily calculate V1 equals to Vf1 upon sine alpha. Yeah, just substitute the values and tell me the answer.
10.36 meter per second, sir.
Very good, very good. I like the speed. Vf1 is 1.8. See, once again, I'm telling you the results for your last previous semester is out. Okay, and you all know that what you have performed. So the thing is to take the corrective measures who have got the results not good, and the one who have got good results, they need to further improve it. Okay, and for improvement, there is only one and only one way, that is practice. Practice and practice. Practice makes a man perfect. So here sine alpha is there, that is 10 degree. So as one of your friend has told me that answer he is getting 10.3 meter per second. Okay, so if you draw the triangle properly and write down the given data, then simply you have to use your trigonometric relations. Okay, likewise, if you will see relative velocity at a second, it was asking for velocity of whirl at inlet, means it is asking Vw1. Okay, you know what is V1. Okay, you know what is angle alpha. So V1 cos alpha will give you its horizontal component. So Vw1 is nothing but your V1 cos alpha. V1 is given to you 10.3, just now you have calculated, and cos of 10 degree. Yes, tell me the answer.
10.2, sir.
10.2, very good. Okay, so like this, everyone use your calculator and tell me the answer. This is Vw1, also we have calculated. These type of numericals we have done so much. Why? Because this is very important. Okay, very important. It can be asked for 10 marks question. Okay, and it is very simple also if you understand the basic funda how to solve it. Now let's see the third one. I want to solve all those things on this slide only. Okay, so because we have all the given data as well as the this diagram also, I will try to solve it on this screen only. The relative velocity at inlet Vr1. Now Vr1 is this one, Vr1. Okay, now we know that from this triangle, this is a right angle triangle, and your Br1 is the hypotenuse of that triangle. Okay, so can we write Br1 as, I'm writing here, Vr1 equals to, in this triangle, Br1 equals to root under Bf1 square plus this much amount. And what is this much amount? This is nothing but your Vw1 minus u1 square. This is your entire length is Bw1 and this is your u1. So this will be Bw1 minus u1. You know the value of Bf1, you know the value of Vw1, just now you have calculated. u1 you have calculated just now. Substitute those values and tell me the answer. Vf1 is 1.8 square plus Bw1 is 10.2 minus u1. How much is u1?
9.4, sir.
9.4. So I will write 9.4. This is square. So you do in your calculator and you tell me the answer.
1.96 meter per second, sir.
1.963 meter per second. Okay, see how simple this is. So you can understand from here how easy it is to score 10 marks. Okay, it will go to your as a bonus marks. Only thing, if you remember this triangle is common. This velocity triangle we are using from your unit number 2. Okay, so you need to just write down the given data properly and draw this triangle and you will get full marks. Now, the next one is your runner blade angle, means theta you have to find out and your phi you have to find out. Okay, now let's see how to get the value of tan theta we will write. Let me change the color. For increasing the visibility, I'm changing the color. Okay, so here tan theta in this triangle, again on that same triangle I am writing tan theta equals to, we know that perpendicular by base. Okay, perpendicular is your bf1 and your base is nothing but this much length. This is again bw1 minus u1, bw1 minus u1. Okay, all the parameters are known to you. You simply substitute those values. bf1 is 1.8, 1.8. bw1 you have calculated here 10.2, and u1 you have calculated, I think it was 9.4. Okay, substitute these values and you will get tan theta equals
66.67.
66.67 degrees. This is theta. Okay, you will get this value in as tan theta. So after that you have to do theta equals to tan inverse of theta equals to, I will write tan inverse of this value. So you will get the value of theta. So this you have to do. So from here you get the value of theta. Again on your outlet side, if you will see, we need to calculate this phi. This is your triangle. Now let's see what are the parameters that you know that is given. So this side Bf2, this is your Bf2. Bf2 is given in your numerical given data. Okay, what else is given? U2 you have calculated this portion. You have calculated U2 equals to pi d2n2 upon 60. Okay, so like that you have to write tan phi equals to perpendicular is your bf2 divided by base is your u2. So bf2 is 1.8
20.90.
and u2, what is the value of u2? I will write, please tell me.
4.712.
4.7. So this value what you get, it is nothing but your tan phi value. So for calculation of phi you need to calculate tan inverse of 1.8 divided by 4.7. So the value of phi you are getting is, what value you got?
20.90. 20.9.
20.90 degrees. Okay, so this is your blade angle in your question number 4. Okay, now coming to your question number 5. We know that it is asking for width of the runner at outlet B2. So whenever you see any term like B2, so in which formula that B2 was coming? In your discharge formula. So you write down the formula, Q equals to pi d1 b1 into bf1 equals to pi d2 b2 into bf2. Okay, here pi is common, you can cancel out. d1 and d2 is given. d1 is given 0.9, d2 is given 0.45 meter. Okay, now B1 is also given. Here B1 is also given 0.2 meter. BF1 and BF2, these values are also given. So from here, you need to calculate this B2. So substitute those values and you will get B2. Here B1, F1 equals to BF2. So you can cancel these two terms also. So in simple form, you can write B2 equals to D1 B1 upon D2. Substitute those values and you will get the answer. What is D1?
0.
D1 0.9 into what is B1? 0.2 divided by D2 0.45. Yes, do the calculation and tell me the answer.
0.4.
0.4 meter. So this is how you can calculate your numericals. Now, finally, the last question they are asking for the mass flow rate, and all the formula is here written in front of you. Q equals to pi into D1 into B1 into BF1. Okay, why I'm telling these formulas again and again, so that it should be stored in your memory. Okay, so this is about how to solve the numericals. Here all the solutions are given step by step. In the same way I have also solved. This is your radial flow outward turbine, reaction turbine. Okay, so on this, where is that? Just wait a minute. Do we have any derivation for this? No, it is similar to your previous one only. Only thing is, previously the direction of flow was from outward to inward. Okay, it was going like this, and now you have the flow in this direction, opposite direction. This is your outward flow, outward radial flow turbine. Okay. This figure shows the outward radial flow reaction turbine, in which the water from the casing enters through the stationary guide vanes. Here you can see this is your stationary guide vanes. These all are okay. And the guide wheels consist of guide vanes which directs the water to enter the runner portion. This is your runner. This is your runner. Okay, so the water will be flowing like this. This is the only change. Rest everything will remain the same. As you can see here, this is your velocity triangle diagram, as we were drawing previously also. Okay, if in the question it is mentioned that radial outlet, so you have to keep this in mind, that here beta will be equals to 90 degree. Rest everything will remain the same. Okay, B1, U1, BW1, BR1, BF1, BR2, this will be your phi, this will be your U2. Practice and practice this diagram. This is very important. Okay, now we will see reaction turbine, Francis turbine. Okay, so as you can see here on your screen, it is a inward flow reaction turbine having radial discharge at the outlet, known as your Francis turbine. It is named after some American engineer, J.B. Francis, who in the beginning designed inward radial flow reaction turbine. Nowadays in modern Francis turbines, the water enters the runner of the turbine in radial direction at outlet and leaves in axial direction at the inlet of the runner. Thus, the modern Francis turbine is mixed flow type turbine. Okay, so here as you can see, it is nothing but your inward flow reaction turbine. This you have to keep in your mind. Okay, inward flow reaction turbine means your velocity triangle diagram, everything will remain the same. What is going to change here? As you can see here, the radial outlet is there. Where is my cursor? Yeah, here the radial outlet is there. So beta will be your 90 degree, and you know that when beta equals to 90 degree, keep this in your mind, that VW2 will become 0. Okay, V2 will be equals to VF2, if you remember the previous velocity triangle diagram. Okay, and we know that if you remember the work done, what is the formula we were using for work done? So we were using that rho a v1, this is mass flow rate. Okay, momentum change, now I have to write. So vw1 u1 plus or minus, we were writing vw2 u2, this we are using. Okay, so here divide per unit weight when it is coming. So mass weight is nothing but mass into acceleration. What is mass? Rho ab into g. Okay, so this is your work done per unit weight of water per second. Okay, this is general formula I have written, general formula. And from here, this condition is applicable for your Francis turbine. Okay, so in this term, you can see rho A V1 will get cancelled out. Okay, VW2 is 0 since beta is 90 degree. Okay, so VW2 will become 0. So this second term will disappear. What is left is written here 1 by G. Here you can see, from here you can see 1 by G inside bracket VW1 U1 belong. So in numerical, if it is asked work done per second per unit weight of water. Okay, and how to remember this I have shown you here. You have to go with your basics. Okay, rho A V1 VW1 U1 plus or minus VW2 U2, just for your memory. Per unit weight, when it is coming, weight is nothing but mass into acceleration. For this case, we all know that it is nothing but your mass flow rate, and mass flow rate is given by rho A V1. So rho A V1 cancelled out. This is what is left. Okay. In the same way, if you will see your hydraulic efficiency, okay, hydraulic efficiency will be given by VW1 U1 upon G into H. Okay. And few more relations are given while solving the numerical. Some important relations for Francis turbine: ratio of width of the wheel to the diameter. In numericals, this value will be given. Out of these three parameters, two will be given, one you have to calculate. Okay, flow ratio, one term is coming, flow ratio. So when this flow is coming, you keep in your mind Bf1. As we know, this Bf1 is your flow velocity. This is speed ratio. Speed ratio is your u1 upon root under 2gh. So this is one relation that you have to keep in your mind. This is the second relation that you have to keep in your mind. This will be helpful while solving the numericals. Okay, and as I have told you, this is nothing but inward flow reaction turbine. So you have to use the same way how we were solving our numericals related to inward flow reaction turbine. Okay, so let's solve one numerical. All of you be ready. First, we will write what is the given data. Then we will write how we can correlate those given data with the formula that is in our mind. Okay, so let's start. A Francis turbine with an overall efficiency is given here. Let me drag this to down. It is creating some problem. Yeah, okay. In a Francis turbine with overall efficiency is written here 75%. So I will write here eta overall. I am writing O for overall 75%. So I can write 0.75 is required to produce some power. Okay. This is the power, means power produced, and power produced is nothing but your soft power. Okay. Soft power is given 148.25 kilowatt. It is working under a head of 7.62 meters. So H is given your 7.62 meter. Now, the peripheral velocity is given by this relation. Here that relation is given that you have to use. Peripheral velocity is nothing but your U term. Okay, U term is given as 0.26 into root under 2 into G into H. Okay, and the radial velocity of flow at inlet. Okay, velocity of flow is Bf, at inlet is 1, is given by 0.96 into root under 2 into G into H. Okay, here if you will see, H is known, H is given here. You can substitute this value and tell me the answer. Yeah, tell me what you are getting for U1. 0.26 into root under 2 into 9.81 into H, capital H is your 7.62. Substitute this value in your calculator and tell me the answer. How much you are getting for this one?
3.17, sir.
3.17. Okay, the unit will be meter per second. Similarly, you will get for BF1 also 0.96 into root under 2 into 9.81 into H. H is again 7.62. How much you are getting for this one?
11.7, sir.
11.7 meter per second. Okay. So whatever the value is given, we are and what formula we know, we will calculate it. Okay. The wheel runs at 150 RPM, means here n is given. Okay. Whenever n is coming, so let's write. We will see what it is asking, because we have already calculated this u. Okay. You have u, you have n. So from here you can calculate diameter. Okay. So we will write here 150 RPM, revolution per minute, and the hydraulic loss in the turbine is 22% of the available energy. Okay, so what is hydraulic loss? I will write hydraulic loss equals to 0.22 of available energy. Available energy, I think, is your it will be the head available. Okay. Assuming radial discharge, here the radial discharge means beta equals to 90 and VW2 is your 0 and V2 equals to VF2. This you remember. This statement I have written for only one word in the question, and that word is radial outlet. Okay, whenever you see radial outlet, you can write this as your input parameter. Now what you have to find out? Assuming radial discharge, determine guide blade angle, means you have to calculate your theta and phi. Okay, and wheel vane angle. Okay, so guide blade angle is your guide blade. When blade angle it is asking for your alpha. When vane angle it is asking, it is your theta. Okay, this I will write here. Now diameter of the wheel at inlet and width. Diameter means D it is asking, at inlet means 1, and width of the wheel at inlet means B, and at inlet means B1 it is asking. Okay, now we will solve it. We know that, I will change the color. Okay, now this is the given data I have written here. Now we know that hydraulic efficiency, here this loss is given now, so that we have to consider it. Hydraulic efficiency equals to total head at inlet. Total head at inlet, I am writing here total head at inlet, minus the hydraulic loss. Hydraulic loss means head loss, divided by head at inlet. What is the head at inlet? So from here, total head at inlet or total head we can write here. So H minus losses, how much is our losses? 0.22. So I will write 0.22 times H upon H. You will get 1 minus 0.22 is 0.78 H divided by H. So this you are getting 0.78. Okay. And in the previous slide, you have seen the formula for your hydraulic efficiency is given by VW1 U1 upon G into H. So now you can apply that formula. You know that hydraulic efficiency is equals to VW1 U1 upon G into capital H. Okay. So you can substitute the values. Here you know that efficiency is 0.78 equals to VW1. What is VW1? That you have to calculate. Okay. So it will be as it is. What is U1? U1 is here we have calculated 3.17 divided by G is your 9.81 and H is your 7.62. 7.62. So from here you can solve and you can tell me what you are getting for your VW1.
18.39 meter per second, sir.
18.39 meter per second. So you have obtained the value of VW1. Now we have not drawn that diagram. Okay, let's draw it. Let me change the color to red. This, suppose this is my blade. Now drawing line at the inlet side. Okay, extended horizontal portion, draw the vertical portion, and there will be one line from this side. On the outlet side, we have the potential line like this. Okay.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
This one. Okay. So I know that this breaking
Yes, sir.
or not. Okay,
Breaking,
wait. So okay, now I think it is visible to all of you. Here on this side, we know that this is your V1. Okay, this is your U1. U1 is from here up to here. This angle it is making alpha. This is making angle theta, and this is your VR1. Where to write? Let me write here. VR1. This is your VF1. Okay. Now the horizontal component of V1 will be your VW1. VW1 is from here up to here. Okay. Now on the outlet side, we know that this tangential line is your VR2, and this is making an angle phi, and this is your U2, and this is our V2 equals to VF2. Okay, so this is our velocity triangle diagram. Now the first question, it was asking for blade angle. Blade angle means what is the angle alpha. Okay, so I will try to correlate from this triangle. Here we know what is given. Vf1 is given and Vw1 we have calculated. Okay, so now we can see tan alpha. I will write here tan alpha in this triangle is nothing but perpendicular by base. Vf1 by base is your Vw1. Okay, Vf1 is 11.7 meter per second and Vw1 is your, where is Vw1? Yeah, here, this one, 18.39. Tell me what you are getting for your alpha.
32.4 degrees, sir.
32.4 degree. Tan inverse you have to do for this term, whatever you will get. Okay. This is your blade angle. Okay. Now In the second question, it is asking for the vane angle, means theta it is asking. So here now you can see how you can calculate your theta, tan theta. You know U1, you know BF1, you know BW1. Okay, so you can easily calculate from here tan theta. You write what is your tan theta? Tan theta in this triangle, this is your theta. So perpendicular by base, perpendicular is BF1, base is your this much, and this is nothing but VW1 minus your U1. Okay, so substitute the values. BF1 how much? 11.7. VW1 is your 18.39 minus U1 is your 3.17. Tell me the answer, what you are getting. Solve this.
37.55 degrees, sir.
37.55 degrees. This is how you can get your, the second is your vane angle. Okay. Now, what is the third one? Third one is asking for diameter. Okay. So let's see how to calculate the diameter. We know that U1 equals to pi D1 N1 divided by 60. So from here you can get this D1. For D1, what I can write, D1 equals to U1 into 60 divided by pi N1. Okay, so substitute those values. U1, what is the value of U1? U1 is 3.17. 3.17 into 60 divided by pi into n. Capital N is your 150. Now calculate for this and tell me the answer.
0.40 meters, sir.
0.40 meters. So mm, it will be 400 mm. Okay, it is in meter. Now the final one, what is asking is width of the wheel at inlet. Okay, width means B1. Width means B1. Okay, we all know that there is only one relation. Which color to use? Let me use this one. Okay. The fourth part of the question I am solving here. Okay, I know that how to correlate and in which relation B1 is coming in Q. The formula I know is pi into D1 into B1 into BF1. Okay, this is what I know, but I don't know the value of Q. What is Q? In the given side, what we can see, there is one relation that still I have not used, is your overall efficiency and your soft power. We all know that overall efficiency is equals to soft power upon water power. Okay, soft power is also given here. So this we can write it as overall efficiency is 0.75 equals to soft power is 148.25 divided by water power. So from here we will get water power. What value you are getting for your water power? 148.25 divided by 0.75. Tell me what you are getting. 197.66. This is water power. Now, what is the formula for water power? We know water power is rho into G into Q into H divided by 1000. Okay, so here now substitute those values. So we are looking for this Q. We are looking for this Q. So Q will be water power into 1000 divided by rho into G into H. So 197.66 into 1000 divided by rho is density of what is 1000, G is acceleration due to gravity, and capital H is given in the 7.62. 7.62. Okay, so you
2.644.
solve this 2.64 cube per second. Now you can substitute this Q value in equation. Again, this is the Q and we are looking for B1. So from this relation, I will write B1 equal to Q divided by pi P1 into Bf1. Okay, substitute those values. Q equals to 2.64 divided by pi into what is B1?
0.179.
0.17. No, D1. Oh, D1 we have calculated here. 0.4 into B is Bf1. This one 11.7. 11. Solving this, what you are getting? You
0.179.
got some value now? 0.179 meter. So this is your answer, question part 4. So this is how you can go for solving your numbers. Okay, this is related to your Francis turbine. We will see now Kaplan, and after that we will see one important topic is your governing mechanism of your turbines, specifically in your syllabus, your Pelton wheel, and then one drive there. So these three topics are still there. We will take a short break of 5 minutes. Again, we will start with your Kaplan turbine. So you can stay connected, but mute yourself after 5 minutes. Okay, so I am back. And I hope my screen is properly visible to everyone. And I am audible properly also. So now we will see axial flow reaction turbine. Okay, as you can see here on the screen, let me take some color. If the water flows parallel to the axis of rotation of the shaft, water if this is the axis of your rotation, okay, of this shaft, and if the water is flowing parallel to this, as you can see in this diagram over here, then the turbine is known as axial flow turbine. And if head at the inlet of turbine is the sum of pressure energy and kinetic energy, and during the flow of water through the runner, a part of pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. Okay, so this is known as your reaction turbine. So on this diagram, you can see the different components of your axial flow reaction turbine. This is your scroll casing, guide vanes on both the side, scroll casing on the both side. This is your runner vanes. They are mounted on the hub. This is called as your hub. Okay, and this hub is directly mounted to your shaft. Okay, this hub is also called as bose. Okay, and this is the outlet of the vane, and again at the outlet side you have one draft tube, and draft tube is connecting to the tail race. So this is the schematic representation of your Kaplan turbine or axial flow reaction turbine. Okay, now here you can see in the diagram, this is the runner of your Kaplan turbine. Okay, in which you can see the bose or hub is there. On that some vanes are mounted. Okay, this is your mountings. You can see here, this is your mountings. Okay, and this is the hub, or you can say the bose. So when the veins, this is the veins you can see here, on which the water slides or glides. Okay, when the veins are fixed to the hub and they are not adjustable, means this is fixed, it cannot be adjustable, then it is called as your propeller turbine. Propeller turbine. And when they are adjustable, means the vanes can adjust their angles by loosening or tightening, then that type of turbines are called as your Kaplan turbine. Okay, so we will see this Kaplan turbine. Okay, the main parts you can see: scroll case, guide vane mechanism, hub with the vane, and your draft tube. So the construction of this turbine with a diagram, with neat sketch, it can be asked in your examination. Now, while solving the numericals for your Kaplan turbine, here you can see we have outer diameter of the runner and the diameter of the hub. These two diameters are there. Okay, so the discharge formula represented by Q, it will be pi by 4 d outer diameter square minus d of hub. Here cube is written, but it should be square. Okay, into your velocity of flow. So this is the only change that we have to incorporate how we were solving the numericals. Rest, everything will remain the same. Okay, if in the question it is written velocity of flow at inlet and outlet are equal, for Kaplan turbine it will be equal. Okay, for Kaplan turbine U1 and U2 will also be equal. So U1 equals to U2 equals to P d node n upon 60, and Bf1 equals to Bf2, and area of flow at inlet equals to area of flow at outlet is given by pi by 4 into your effective diameter square. So these things you can keep in your mind, and now we can solve the numericals.
Sir, once show the previous slide, no, sir.
Yeah. Anything?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now we will solve the numerical. First, we will see in the question what it is given, and then what it is asking. Only two things we have to see here. A Kaplan turbine working under a head of 20 meters. So head is given 20 meters. Develops a power of 11,772 kilowatt shaft power. Shaft power is given 11,772 kilowatt. Okay, now the outer diameter of the runner is 3.5. Please mute yourself, some background noise is coming. Okay, thank you. So here the outer diameter is given 0.35 meters, and hub diameter is given, dB is given 1.75 meters. The guide blade angle at the extremes of the runner is 35 degree, means alpha is given. Hydraulic and overall efficiency of the turbine. Hydraulic efficiency is 88% and overall efficiency is 84%. Okay, if the velocity of whirl is 0 at inlet, means here Bw1 is at outlet, sorry, it is at outlet, Bw2 equals to 0. If Bw2 is 0, it means beta equals to 90 degree. If beta is 90 degree, then V2 equals to Vf2. So in one word, they are giving us this three information. Now, this is the given data. What you have to find out? Okay, determine the runner vane angles. Vane angles means you have to find out for the value of your theta and phi. Vane angles, you have to find out your what is the value of theta and what is the value of phi. And the speed of turbine means revolution per minute you have to find out. So this is the question. Now we will see how to solve it. I hope I have added the things, but here the velocity triangle is not there. So I will work on this slide only. Okay. We know that overall efficiency is soft power upon water power. Okay. Soft power is given here. Water power, we know that the formula is rho into G into Q into H upon 1000. You please remember this, rho into G into Q into H upon 1000. Okay, so from here you will get the water power. Okay, substitute those values. Let me draw one line. Okay, what are the values given here? In your water power, you know the density. I will write here water power equals to density. Rho is our 1000, G is 9.81, Q I need to calculate, H is 20 meter divided by 1000. Okay. And do we have that value of your water power? No, it is not given. So we have to correlate with your efficiency and soft power. Okay. We know that overall efficiency is given. Overall efficiency is 84%. So eta overall equals to soft power upon water power. Soft power value is given 11,772 divided by water power. Water power here I have written, so 1000 and 1000 will be cancelled out. What is left is 9.81 into Q into H, that is 20. Okay, and this is equals to 0.84. So from here you can get the value of Q. Do the calculation and tell me the answer, what you are getting for Q. You will get this value Q something around 71.4 meter cube per second. Please cross check whether it is correct or not. Now, we also know that from the previous slide, Q equals to pi by 4. Okay, whenever you are solving the numericals related to your Kaplan turbine, keep this in your mind. Q equals to d outer minus db square into Vf1. Okay, so d nod is given, db is given. Substitute those values. Q is given. Q we have calculated in the previous 71.4 equals to pi by 4 into d nod is our 3.5 square minus db is our 1.75 square into Vf1. So from here you will get Vf1. If you will solve it, you can get the value. Tell me the answer. Bf1, how much you are getting? If I am correct, you will get something around 9.9 meter per second. Okay, this is your Bf1. Now again, once we got this value, or prior to this also you can draw your velocity triangle diagram. Okay, one curved blade is required. The inlet side, the tangential to this curved surface, tangential line, this tangential line is your V1. Okay, for this V1, draw the horizontal component and your vertical component, and in between you can draw the relative velocity component. On the outlet side, since this is radial outlet, one triangle required like this. Now write down all the parameters. Parameters will be as usual. Yellow is visible or not? No, yellow is not visible. Okay, this will be your V1. This will be your alpha angle. This is your theta. Theta is with your relative velocity. This is your U1 from here up to this portion. The horizontal component of V1 will give you the whirl component, that is your VW1, and the vertical component VF1 from here up to here. On the outlet triangle side, the one which is tangential to the curved surface is your relative velocity at outlet, VR2. The angle it is making phi. This will be your U2 from here up to here, and this is VF2. VF2 equals to V2, and for this case this angle is 90 degree, beta equals to 90 degree, so VW2 will be equals to 0. Okay, so after this I have to find out, we have obtained the value of VF1. Now I need to find out the value of your theta. For that, what we will do, let's move ahead. As per the given data, I can write tan alpha equals to tan alpha from this triangle perpendicular by your base VF1 divided by VW1. Okay. Alpha is given to you 35 degree. VF1 you know, you have calculated from here. So from here you can get VW1 is equals to VF1 upon tan alpha. VF1 is your 9.9. Tan alpha is 35 degrees. What value you are getting for VW1? Do the calculation. 9.9 divided by tan 35. You will get 14.14 meter per second. Okay. Similarly, after this, now we need to calculate this U1. In order to calculate this theta, we have to use tan theta equals to VF1 minus this portion. Okay. So for no calculate this portion I am talking about. So for calculating this value, you need to know the value of U1. So for that, I will draw one line over here. Let me change the color. Okay. I have to calculate U1. Now, which given data is there that we have not used till? Hydraulic efficiency. We have used this overall efficiency, but we have not used this hydraulic efficiency. What is the formula for your hydraulic efficiency? Eta H equals to, if you remember the formula, VW1 into U1 divided by acceleration due to gravity into your head. This value is 0.88. I need to calculate this U1. So I will write U1 equals to eta H is your 0.88 into G is my 9.81 into head capital H Capital H is given here 20 meter divided by VW1. VW1 just now I have calculated 14.14. So after solving this, you will get the value for your U1, that is your peripheral velocity. You will solve it, you will get 12.21 meter per second. Okay, now we can apply this tan theta over here in this triangle. Now we can apply tan theta. So I will write tan theta equals to perpendicular by base. Perpendicular is VF1, base is my VW1 minus U1. You know all the values, substitute that and get the value of theta. Bf1 is, where is Bf1? Yeah, here. 9.9 divided by Vw1 is 14.14 and U1 is your 12.21. So you solve this fraction and you will get theta equals to 78.9 degrees. Okay. We know that for Kaplan turbine, there is one more case. In the previous slide, we have seen for the Kaplan turbine, U1 equals to U2 equals to the value we have obtained here. That is, I will write on this side, okay, 12.21. Similarly, we also know that Bf1 equals to Bf2 equals to the value you have obtained, 9.9 meter per second. This is the condition for your Kaplan turbine we have seen in the previous slide. In the previous slide, we have seen Bf1 equals to Bf2 and U1 equals to U2. Okay, so based on that, we can calculate in this outer triangle. Now, triangle on the outlet side, you can see tan phi. What is tan phi? So here, tan phi equals to perpendicular, that is Bf2 divided by base, that is U2. So both the values are known to you, 9.9 divided by U, that is 12.21. When you will solve, you will get phi equals to 39 degrees. So this is your phi, theta and phi, the first part of this question. Now, what is the speed of turbine? We know that whenever the term speed means revolution per minute is coming, then the formula that should come to your mind is U equals to pi dn upon 60. Okay, so I will write U, U1, U2, whatever, because U is same for Kaplan turbine. U equals to pi d naught n divided by 60. Okay, so U, what we have calculated, 12.21. 12.21 into 60 divided by pi into d naught. D naught is 3.5. This is your value of n. When you will solve it, you will get the speed of the turbine. N is given by 66.6 revolution per minute. So if you will pay attention, what are the points to be noted here is, let me take some other. Okay, let me do with this one. Okay. Here for Kaplan turbine, in this numerical, what we have seen, everything remains the same, only that we have changed this, we have used this formula, discharge formula. The next thing that you have to keep in your mind, U1 equals to U2 and Vf1 equals to Vf2 and U equals to pi d naught n upon 60. If you keep these things in your mind, then you will easily solve every numerical of your couplant turbine. Okay, now this is the solution. I have kept on different slides. Yeah, this is 66.63. This was all about your couplant turbine. We have seen one numerical also on that. We have seen Francis turbine. We have solved one numerical based on that. Okay, you must practice today at least the solved examples on your textbook. The textbook I have uploaded in your Canvas. You can download it from there, the PDF version, and try to solve the solved examples of your textbook. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic, that is your draft tube. As I have shown you earlier also, in reaction turbine, at the outlet side, we have seen, suppose this is your turbine, okay, with a radial lever, but at the outside, if you have seen pipe or
Sir, your
cross-sectional
voice
voice
breaking, sir.
network is good. Okay, anyhow. The cross-sectional area of this pipe, you can see it is increasing. This is the draft tube. Okay, so let's see what is written here. A pipe of gradually increasing area. A pipe of gradually increasing area which connects. Okay, it is connecting. Draft tube is connecting. What it is connecting? Outlet of the runner to the tail race. Okay, it is connecting outlet of the runner to the tail race. Okay, what is draft tube? Draft tube, but it is a pipe. Draft tube is nothing but it is a pipe of gradually increasing area. Very important theoretical question. Okay, I am focusing here. Draft tube is a pipe of gradually increasing area, okay, which connects. It is what it is connecting? Outlet of the runner to the tail race. That's it. Okay, it is used for, now what is its use? It is used for draining water from the exit of the turbine to the tail race. Of the draft tube is connected to the outlet of the runner, as I have told you here also. Okay, one end is connected to the outlet of the runner, while the other end is submerged to the level of water in the tail race. Okay, it's, as we all know that in reaction turbine, what is happening, pressure energy and kinetic energy both are there. So some part of your, there will be drop in energy while moving inside the runner. Okay, so it permits the negative head to be established at the outlet of the runner and thereby increasing the net head on the turbine. It converts a large portion of the kinetic energy rejected at the outlet of the turbine into some useful pressure energy. So this you have to remember. There are different type of draft tubes. They are on your screen, these diagram. Okay, questions can be like, what is meant by draft tube? What are its uses? What are the different type of draft tubes? Different type of draft tubes. Draw neat sketch of all of them. Okay, important theoretical question. So you must practice this. You have to, you can see here, there is one conical draft. So only no explanation is required. Only you need to draw all the different type of draft tubes. This is simple elbow. As you can see here in conical, there is one smaller diameter and it is a bigger diameter. It is similar to your frustum of a cone. Okay, when it becomes elbow type means the flow is changing its direction at 90-degree. This is your elbow type. Here it is branched in two directions with increasing cross section, you can see here. So this is called as Moody spreading tube. And for the last one, you can see at the top you have a circular cross section. Now gradually this cross section is increasing, and at the end you can see the cross section has a square or rectangle cross section. So this is called as draft tube with circular inlet and rectangular outlet. Okay, so these are the different type of draft tubes. Now draft tube theory or its mathematical part we will see. As you can see here in the diagram, one draft tube is there. Okay, this is your turbine casing, and at the outlet of your turbine runner, this draft tube is connected. Okay, so outlet of your turbine runner will act as inlet of the draft tube. This is your tail race where the water is getting calculated, and this is the outlet of your draft tube. Outlet of your draft tube. So as you can see in the diagram, this is taken as section 1-1 and this is taken as section 2-2. Okay. Now, two more parameters are there. HS you can see here. HS is the vertical height of the draft tube above the tail race. Above, this is your tail race. So above the tail race, HS is the height, and Y is the distance of the draft tube from the tail race. This is the distance from the tail race to the bottom of your draft tube. Okay, now applying Bernoulli's equation at section 1-1 and section 2-2. If you remember, the basic formula is P1 upon rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus datum head. Okay, or we were for datum head we were writing Z1 equals to P2 upon rho z plus V2 square upon 2z plus Z2 plus HF, means losses in the pipeline. So that is what you can see here at section 1-1. Okay, at section 1-1. Here it is written applying Bernoulli's equation at inlet and outlet of the draft tube and taking section 2-2 as the datum line, means this is your datum line. Okay, now you have to write the Bernoulli's equation P1 upon rho z plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1. Z1 is this much, that is your datum. Above datum, what is the distance? That is HS plus Y. On the right hand side, P2 upon rho g, V2 square by 2g plus Z2. Here Z2 is 0 because it is lying on your datum line, plus HF, that is your losses or loss of energy between section 1 and 2. Now at section 2, the pressure head is at section 2. It means at this location, section 2, the pressure head is nothing but atmospheric pressure above this, atmospheric pressure, the pressure head at this location, plus the pressure due to this liquid column. Okay, that is your Y. So we can write for P2 upon rho z, PA upon rho g plus y. Substitute this value for P2 upon rho g into your equation above. After substitution, we can write the equation like this: P1 upon rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Hs plus y equals to P2 upon rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Hf losses. So here we have substituted for this P2 upon rho z. Now, here what we can see, y is there on both the sides. Y is there on both the sides, so they can be cancelled out. Now what is left? This 2 term and this Hs on the left hand side, and remaining this y term, everything will be on right hand side. That is P1 upon rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Hs equals to Pa upon rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Hf. Now I want to know the pressure head at section 1. So I will bring these two terms on the right hand side of this equation, So what I will get? I will get Pa upon rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Hf minus V1 square by 2g minus Hs. If you will rearrange it, okay, what you can see, it can be written like Pa upon rho g minus Hs minus this entire term. So you can see this is your pressure head, atmospheric pressure. So it is clear that this P1 upon rho g is less than the atmospheric pressure. This is what I want to show you here. Okay. If in your examination the question is asked like proof mathematically that pressure head at the outlet of your turbine is less than atmospheric or negative pressure, also it can be used that term. So then you have to do this mathematical calculations, and you can show from here that the pressure at section 1-1 is less than atmospheric pressure. So this is about your draft tube theory. Now, do I have any numerical for this?